I will say 7. It's
Oh,
3.
right on. So first off, we're gonna be making their way through the first pipe transition, just to get an idea of what the map layout's going to be. Gonna come across their first fort right now. Definitely a good idea to get started with that, considering that they don't have any way of knowing where all the locks are yet.
That
They don't
said,
know.
the Hammer brother had a hammer.
Right on. Yeah, although they do have the hammer, won't be able to break a lock if it happens to be in front of the airship. So they'll probably want to at least open up as many passes as they can before they get to the island where the airship is.
Yeah, I mean,
So
it's not useful here because we're already starting in roll 3. There's no double hammer play necessary.
exactly. So it
Anyway,
looks like most of our runners have made their way through 3F2 so far. So next up, they're making their way through 5-7.
oh no.
Well, that's a really rough fire bro pattern on Human Mustard's side. So you definitely don't want to be Small Mario and having to go really slowly through that shallow water and just get ambushed by those two fire bros. You hate to see it. And ice physics isn't really that much better, so you really have to really be careful to dodge both those fireballs and then just make sure they don't jump at the same time that you do, especially when you get a low pattern like that.
Oh, and
Speaking of levels you don't want to go into with Small Mario, that's definitely a very strong contender as well. Especially in Randomizer, when it comes to 4F1, I would definitely prefer to have some sort of secondary power up in case some dry bones drops down on your face, and you want to have at least one insurance policy just to damage boost through. Especially since if you're taking the top route, you'll have at least some sort of safety measure like a mushroom or a star. So it looks like Leslie Pro and Human Mustard definitely made good use of those. Classic one, not too far behind either. Claris.com also entering 4F1.
yeah, but it seems like the Mustard Classic and Claris we're getting a little hung up by the Fire Bros and this fort. And Leslie got hitboxed by Hammer Fire Bro there.
Hey, did you guys see that? It looks like Leslie Pro just barely made it over the Fire Bro, but the hitbox pretty much just said, nah. It didn't even look like either of the sprites overlapped with each other, so.
Classic SMB3. Anyway, first airship is number 2.
All right, so gonna be on. So the battle arena for World 2 Airship is going to have some pretty elevated platforms, so they're gonna want to be careful, especially with Wendy. So it doesn't look like they're going to have any quake patterns from her. So just want to make sure you're not stopping on her head on the same frame that she's shooting the rings. And it looks like a bit of a shaky situation with Leslie Pro, but he makes it out there, no problem. Love to see it. Human Mustard not too far behind.
Yeah. That is actually one of the worst Wendy fights you can possibly get.
Was that a 5-hitter? I wasn't counting.
Yeah, it was a 5-hitter on uneven ground and not heavy.
And it's especially rough when it's the first world and you have barely any items in your inventory to work with. But at least she's out of the way, so definitely greener grass on the other side moving forward.
Frog suit from Peach, and next world is grass.
Speaking of grass, let's go.
Oh, hello, Boss Bass. Our friend.
Oh man, looks like Leslie Pro tried to be careful of that piranha plant and just went a little too far to the left. Meanwhile, we see a Human Mustard, classic Human Mustard with the frog suit in 6.5. Unfortunately, he's going to have to get out of it because his only option is to get onto the upper section. At least one of the reassuring things about 4-5 with Boss Bass is you really don't have any reason to be on the upper section. I mean, you don't really have any reason to be on the lower section anyway, since you're just doing all those platform hoppings where the bullet bill cannons are.
Oh, it looks like here.
I didn't even think to go up there. Usually, whenever I make my way through 4-5, I just want to go from left to right as soon as I can and just get the heck out of there. But at least the time that was spent getting that hammer suit was definitely worthwhile.
And it despawned the boss bass. Speaking of boss bass, he's in 2-3 as well.
And at level like 2-3, it's actually a good idea to make use of those P switches, just to avoid a lot of the hazards that are on the ground. Not really a strategy I see in play too often. Oh no, Leslie Pro got eaten by boss bass. Loses that hammer suit.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
While we see Classic 1 making his way through 6F2, definitely a good idea to have a tail right at the beginning so that you can just fly through the underpass and just go right through where all those thwomps and rotodiscs would normally reside. It looks like Human Mustard is passing on the opportunity to grab a Firefly. He's going to pretty much use the same strategy. Just fly through the underpass, just damage boost out of the tail, and then try to get the Boom Boom as soon as you can.
And with that,
right, so with 6F2 gone. Yeah, speaking of enemies with really rough hitboxes, it's very easy if you're not carefully timing your jumps just to fall through them, even when you're stomping right on their head as they're coming out of the water.
3-2 always gave me trouble trying to speed through it. I just cannot get a beat on it.
I think a lot of the reasons why people fall through the Cheep Cheeps and take damage that way has a lot to do with the speed interactions when Mario comes into contact with them. That the Cheep Cheeps reach their maximum velocity as soon as they're jumping out of the water. So if you hit them if you're in just the wrong place at the wrong time, yeah, that could definitely be a cause for it.
Now 8F2, Human Mustard is taking the stand of shame.
Yeah, when you're going into this small Mario, there's a lot of things that can just snipe you at the last minute, like a Cheep Cheep just jumping out of the blue, or getting an Angry Sun or a Boss Pass. Definitely not a good idea to chance it when you're in that situation, so there's absolutely no harm in grabbing a power-up, and then just skipping over where a Angry Sun could potentially spawn.
Yeah, there are two pipes to go through. They both lead to the same place, but different pathways. The one on the right is a lot shorter and a lot less long, but there is no power up in that one. So take your pick.
Meanwhile, with the Classic 1 just pretty much wrapping up the second world, or the Grass World, so he'll be the first going into World 3, so I'm going to go ahead and guess that this is going to be World 5.
Let's go 6.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a lot of these races are in a situation where they have a lot of items in their inventory. I mean, they fought a couple of Hammer Bros along the way. I don't think any of them went for any of the mushroom houses, so they're definitely going into the next one fairly under-equipped. So
yeah.
I would definitely keep my fingers crossed in that situation. I don't really have to worry about World 6 too much.
I think I saw Leslie go into a Toad House in the first few seconds of the race. Oh, hello, 5-9.
Oh no, I hate to see it. I don't think any of them have a cloud in their inventory at this moment, so they're pretty much stuck playing it because it's the first in that world.
And I think Peach gave another frog suit.
Thanks, Peach. You're a real pal.
Yeah, since the hammers don't break locks, they have to do it.
All right, Human Mustard.
Or do they?
The Human Mustard knows at this point that in World 1 Fortress doesn't ever really break any essential locks, but since he has the tail... Oh, it looked like he had the opportunity to fly up and see what item he could grab, but...
Yeah, he could have, because the thing is, that lock wasn't exactly in the way. Like, if you get my meaning.
Yeah. But it looks like instead of just trying to fly up and try to grab the item, it looks like he didn't want to deal with that hot foot anyway, because if it's standing right in the center of the platform, there was no way he was going to go peace speed either.
Right, well, we'll guess we'll see if 6F1 is the one that breaks that lock. And ooh.
A human must have making really good use of that tail in that beta level, so he could just get straight to the end, and he had just take a shortcut straight to the end.
Okay, no, it did not break that lock, which means that World 1-4 could have saved them the grief of having to do 5-9. Oh, it looks like Mustard snuck into the lead.
He'll be the first one closing out the third world, so... So they're going to be fighting Morton Koopa on the World 7 airship. So the platforming in the boss arena is going to be a little awkward, but nothing you can't handle.
And that looks like a 3-hitter. Alright, next world.
All right, so we haven't seen World 6 yet. I think our racers are definitely had an opportunity to grab a couple good items along the way. We saw Human Mustard grab that cloud earlier. So I think that World 6 would be a good opportunity to just get it out of the way. So fingers crossed for that one.
Tanuki suit this time, and it's giant.
The question in chat, is there a command to see what is being randomized? Well, in this particular flag set, there's a lot that's going to be randomized, including the number of the kinds of power-ups that you're going to be getting from the question blocks, the amount of hits it takes to take out the Koopalings in at the end of each of the worlds. The world order is random, and the level order is random, as well as the number of forts you'll encounter in each of the respective worlds.
Fortress World 2 Fort is probably one of the last fortresses you want to have to do because of its length.
Right, so it looks like the fort that Human Mustard just finished wasn't the one that was going to open up the bridge to get to the end of World 4. So thankfully, there's another transition pipe right there. Hopefully, it'll take him to the far end of the other side of the map, so he'll be able to get to that other fort as soon as he can without having to play through that linear path of other levels that are in the way.
And a refund star, of course.
You see Clarice and Leslie Pro not too far behind each other, just both wrapping up the World 3 airship with Morton. Looks like Classic One's trying to go for the wall jump as Big Mario. It's really not an easy thing to do.
Seemed like he had an opportunity, because I saw he got hung up for that 1 millisecond. Seemed like he could have done it there.
Yeah, his foot clipped into the wall, but the timing was a little off on that follow-up jump. So rather than really, garner the risk of just falling further behind, just said, you know what, I'm just going to go through the level and just play it out the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, it's easy to do when you're small.
And without a doubt, I do believe it's a 6-frame window when you're small, and I think 2 frames when you're big. I also found that I have a greater success rate if I stand a couple pixels back compared to Small Mario whenever you're making that big jump to get to the wall.
It looks like Classic took the lead again. But again, maybe like a 10-second difference between the two of Classic and Mustard. As they both trudge through Air Force. And that should make the bridge.
It looked like there was only 2 forts that were in World 4, so that should definitely do the trick. It looks like it is.
It seems like there's always at least 2 fortresses in Giant Land, just so there can be that 50-50 where you have to make the bridge.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. There's always at least 2 fortresses there. If one of those fortresses is right on your starting point where you normally see those 2 transition pipes, like just get one out of the way first because it's right there.
Oh, Chad is saying that 1 fort is possible. How about that? Well, bye, Hammer Bro.
Alright, so it looks like Claris.com just made his way through 6-9 as well, so didn't even try to go for that wall jump. He's like, I have Fire Mario, I could just snipe out some cheap suits along the way, we'll go the old conventional path, probably save a little time over anyone else who might have gone for those attempts themselves, and I'll be out of here ASAP.
Mustard and Classic have been neck and neck pretty much the whole time this race has started.
It looks like Claris and Leslie Pro are neck and neck as well. They're both making their way through 6-9 as well. Only a couple seconds difference between the two of them.
And I didn't get to see what Peach had on Mustard's end or on Classic's end, so we don't know.
We do know that the next fortress is going to be 5F2, and neither of them went for the Jesus clip, so they're both DQ'd. Sorry, guys, wrap it up.
For those who don't know, the Jesus clip is you can try to do the clip up in the top right corner of the first room, but if you fail, you take a lava dip. So needless to say, most racers tend to not go for it.
Yeah, it's a much bigger risk than it is a reward, you're zipping through the wall for a pretty long time, so by the time you finally get the boom boom and get the kill on them, you're only saving about 3.5 seconds.
You mainly do it for swag, because it takes about the same amount of time to actually do the level.
If you're doing a vanilla run of the game and your pace is pretty much on life support and that's your only chance to salvage it at that point. I've actually been in a couple of situations like that. But yeah, it's definitely really good swag as well. It was a very big reward for Mitch's point system tournament that just happened on Speed Gaming a couple months ago.
Mustard has found the promised land. Which is what I call the rightmost island, where the fortress is, the airship.
Oh boy, we're making our way through 7-9 now. So I don't know if Classic's going for the clip. He got the first one first try. Is he going to go for the rest of them? He goes 2 for 2. Oh, he's going to go for mid clip. Does he get it? Oh, he tried to, but he's like, you know what? I'm bailing. I'm out of here. 2 for 2 is still good. Still saving time overall compared to just going through the conventional maze path. So I'll count my blessings and get out of here.
All right. All right, 7-7, munch or run. Oh, yep. Star went the wrong way.
Looks like, did Leslie Pro just get the off-screen one grab after wrapping up Iggy? Looks like it might have been.
I think he got it.
See a little bit of Mario's head, so it might be... No. Oh, he got it!
Yep.
I love to see it. Yeah, we see Classic 1 was just wrapping up 8F. Tried to go for the 1 cycle after grabbing, hitting the P-switch, but unfortunately lost a couple of frames just from doing those damage boosts from getting past that boo. Wait out the timer for that 2nd cycle if he wants to hold on to that Fire Flower.
All right, Mustard won a star from that Piranha fight. I guess there were no music boxes available.
I didn't see any of them in either of the inventories, so it looks like they had no choice.
All right, so with the first 5 worlds being 3, 1, 2, 4, 7, the only ones left are Sky, which is 5, and Ice, which is 6.
All right, I'll go for Skyworld next.
I'm still holding out for 6. Give me that Ice.
I tried guessing 6 one or two times, and I was wrong neither of those times. So I'm sure this will be the one where I end up being wrong again.
Unfortunately, the neck and neck pace between Classic and Mustard is gone because Mustard found progress like pretty much immediately.
It looks like the next one's going to be Skyworld, so he still has at least one cloud in his inventory, but might as well hold off on using it right away. He still has those 2 worlds to go through. He wants to probably reserve it in case he gets a really bogus level like 7.5 or 6.6, neither of which we've encountered yet so far.
Claire is in the bottom part of 5-2. He fell.
Claris took the shaft of shame. You hate to see it.
Looks like Classic is going for the 7-7 sub-pixel clip. And decided, nah.
Yeah, it's worth a shot for maybe 1 or 2 attempts, but after that, you don't want to really dwell on it because every reattempt that you make with P-Speed takes about 3 seconds. But if Classic was able to get that pipe clip first try, it would skip over the whole level and save 17 seconds overall.
Like, it's beyond my pedigree, so I don't even try.
Even a lot of the top runners really struggle with it. It's not really something that you would go for in vanilla runs unless you were on world record pace or that was pretty much your only option to save the run.
Another beta level, I guess another thing we never talked about is that the beta levels are also shuffled in this.
There's a couple beta levels that are still coded into the official versions of SMB3, but they're normally just only accessible through Game Genie. But they're unlocked for our purposes in Randomizer, so it's good to
9 of them anyway.
Good to see those showcased every once in a while.
9 of them, mate. 9 of them, mate. So, because some of them are either unfinished or they would make a good level.
Yeah, some of those levels were incomplete, so Fred did a little bit of modification on some of them just to make sure that there's a goalpost right at the end where you can just grab a card and get out.
I think one of them is like a copy of another beta level, but there's no exit.
Yes, that's correct. I think you're referring to the 1.6 beta. One of them has a goalpost, and the other one is a little bit shorter in the layout and doesn't have the goalpost.
Anyway, Pyramid. If you have a tail, you can just pretty much just not have to do the gimmick.
It's a little bit unremarkable. There's not really much different compared to if you were just doing it in vanilla. The Bussy Beetles are still going to be where they need to be so that you can break those blocks if in the situation you don't have a tail.
Yeah. Unlike in the base game, Bowser does give you an item, his letter, but you won't know what it is until you actually look in your inventory, so we don't know what it is.
Right, so it looks like Human Mustard still maintains a fairly healthy lead, just making his way through the World 5 airship, where they're in Skyworld now, so they're going to be facing Roy.
Right,
nice early one-shot, too.
Yeah. Ooh, Anyway, through process elimination, the final airship is gonna be World 4's.
Yeah, World 4 airship with Lemmy Koopa, since they're going to be doing Ice World last. So It's definitely going to be a little awkward trying to navigate around if you're trying to go for a fire kill, so you might want to be a little wary just to make sure you don't have in a situation where you soft lock. It's definitely a thing that can happen. It's happened to me multiple times.
Tell us all about it. No. I think that was a cloud? Yep. And now we enter 4-6. If you enter that door, you can just despawn that sun.
It looked like Human Mustard was trying to go for the door. He was doing a little turn back there. I think he was questioning whether he wanted to go through it or not, but since he had some pretty solid forward momentum, we're pretty much right there. We'll finish it up. Some pretty good use of some P-Speed strats overall throughout the level with the help of that Fire Flower.
Yeah, it was a decent enemy set, too. Alright, now hammer time. The last place where they'd be useful, and,
Alright, so it looks like there's going to be 2 locks guarding the end of the World 6 overworld
technically one, if this breaks the one that's blocking the airship. But it could break the other one.
2 locks, only one of which is essential, so fingers crossed. Does he get it?
Survey says...
I hate to see it. At least he has another transition pipe. We'll see if it drops him off right next to the other fortress. Looks like it does. Doesn't look like he has any more music boxes, though, so he's just going to get a nice quick start kill on these Hammer Bros.
Alright. Have we seen Fort Knox already?
We have not.
So, this could be it. Is it Fort Knox? No.
Means it might potentially still be in World 8, which could definitely cost a lot of time that you really don't need.
Oh, did not get it.
It looks like
For those who don't know, there is a glitch you can do where you called the door 3 glitch, where if you hit up like immediately upon the screen fading in, finishing, it counts as the other door, the transition. So if you hit up, you can just skip door 6 entirely.
Yeah, it's a frame-perfect trick. So the game does a ground check on the first frame that you have control over Mario as you're starting the level. So since the neighboring door is right there, you're not supposed to re-enter that door while in midair. So the game just wrong warps you to the door that's right next to it, and it happens to be the one that would take you straight to Boom Boom. So if you're able to nail it, you can save up to 4 seconds in that fortress. But if you miss it, you lose 11.
And here's why Glemmy's not a good fight in arenas like this, because he can just face to the ground. You can't hit him unless you're using fireballs.
It's very easy to get knocked off your rhythm and potentially shoot the 10th fireball, on the same frame that he's shooting those green balls. So that could happen to virtually any other Koopaling where they drop the wand and try to shoot a projectile at you. So in that case, it misses the state where it would convert into the wand that you grab to end the world, and then it could just fall straight through the ground and then cancel the timer altogether, so you're permanently soft locked. So thankfully that didn't happen in this.
Oh my! Look at all those pipes. Okay, we see 2 locks. So it's like a maximum of maybe 2 bridges required. And there's a lock. The lock? I saw at least 3 locks.
So yeah, there's, I think, a good 4 fortresses that you generally have to play in World 8. And if 3 of them are locks, then there might be a bridge that's in front of Bowser's Castle. It's kind of hard to say. There's one potential bridge that could be in front of Bowser's Castle if we haven't encountered 4 locks so far.
Oh, Leslie Pro has entered 6-6. A nasty level.
Definitely one of definitely a universal least favorite among randomizer runners, especially when you have a lot of bloopers that could just corner you from a lot of different directions and just generate a ton of lag.
It's long, it's treacherous, it's slow, and there's a trap at the very end. Well, potentially.
Must have tried to snipe out that piranha before going through the pipe, but luckily he still has his mushroom damage booster and just get not have to maneuver around the enemies before getting to Boom Boom.
Okay, Leslie is using the hammer.
So we see Claris making his way through the navy.
Yep.
Leslie Pro not too far behind, but he might be able to gain a little bit of lead because he has the opportunity to get some P speed.
All right. Mustard is a bit of a comfortable in the driver's seat. I mean, it could change, assuming the paths diverge, and one of the other three ends up taking the best possible route. I mean, we're gonna find out soon. Okay. The false tank is 7-6, so Mustard's gonna go for that clip.
Looks like he's trying to do the duck clip in 7-1 because he has a 3-frame window in which if he hits that corner block and on the right slip pixel, he can just zip right through and skip over a lot of the underground sections that's beyond the door.
All right,
And it looks
got
like
it.
he gets it.
If you enter this with the P-wing, you can just fly over it too. Only 7-6 though, and 7-1 you have to do the clip if you have to do the level.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even realize that I was saying 7-1 before. Yeah, that was just 7-6 before.
And another hand trap, and Mustard is saying no thanks.
I can't really blame him. Now that he's been making some really solid progress on those fortresses, he just wants to get those and then just get straight to Bowser's Castle as soon as he can. Not waste any more time.
All right, the lock's still there, so it's plausible. Okay, one bridge is required, and the level is in the way. I don't think I saw Mustard have a cloud that wasn't the one that he gave him for World 6. And what is going on, Leslie's end? Why is he upside down? What are you doing? Um, hmm. So anyway, there's Fort Knox. Unfortunately, Mustard did not have a tail, and so I had to do the whole shebang.
It looks like Classic 1 got kind of sandwiched in between the Thwomp and the Fire Piranha, so didn't have that secondary power up so that he could just damage boost through. So yeah, just kind of got caught on what to do next and then just fell in the Ragu.
Hmm. All right, all right. Looks like Fort Knox is the answer, and this is third hand trap is 5-3.
Definitely one of the 5-3 is definitely one of the longer levels in SMB3, especially when you have those two long rooms where you go from right to left and then left to right, and you gotta have to navigate through a lot of those gaps in the floor.
And there's also potential slowdown with some particular enemies. It's another one of those levels you don't really want to see, but it's not egregiously awful, like say 7-8 or 6-6 or
And one of the nice
7-5.
I would definitely play 5-3 over a level like 7-5, especially if I don't have any tail equipped that I could just kind of fly over the section where you would have to build a bridge. And one of the nice things about 5-3 is you can emulate a lot of the P-speed strategies that you normally do in the vanilla routing. As long as you have some sort of secondary power-up like a Fireflower or a tail, you can just kind of damage boost through for P-speed to get to that first room.
Okay, so Fort Knox was not the answer. It might be 6-3 where Classic's in, so...
Uh-oh.
I don't... But does Classic know where Bowser is?
I think I've only seen the Valley of Bowser on Human Mustard's side.
Okay, so Mustard still has a chance.
The only thing is, I don't know if those fortresses were tied to blocks that would obstruct the path to the Valley of Bowser.
Claris got the clip as well.
I think a little faster than Human Mustard this time. I think it only took about 3 or 4 tries.
Yep, if you can get a good rhythm, you can... Oh, and the final level before Bowser's is 7-8, and no clouds, so...
Well, it looks like he tried to YOLO it and hope that that piranha at the end was gonna despawn, but no such luck this time around.
Yeah, this
He
is
has
a
a hammer
nasty
shooter on
level.
Especially when you have, oh god, you got 3 fire piranhas all ambushing you at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, in the base game, they're normally just regular old piranha plants, but Venus fire traps, ugh.
Looks like Classic One's in for a rude awakening as well. See if he's able to manage to get through there a little bit quicker than Human Mustard is.
That said, he has closed the gap considerably.
And without a doubt. Human Mustard was trying to go for, see what the power up he can get from the big chest was, but...
Oh, I can't tell if that was accidental or not. Losing that Frogo.
As they say, frog suits are pretty much just mushrooms in disguise. You only get it just so you can get out of it.
Alright, Bowser's Castle. Unfortunately, no hammer or fire. Well, fire may be an option, assuming that they go for the item box, the question block, a flower happens to be in it.
It doesn't take any more than a couple of seconds to see what's in that the question mark block. So definitely a good opportunity just to have something to damage boost with as you're making your way through the statue room.
All right. Unfortunately, that one was a leaf and not a flower. So
yeah, we weren't not going to be able to see any quick kills on Bowser. So the most you could really ask for is just to get through that awkward statue room as quickly as you can.
And then we're fighting him the slow way, which is the safe way.
Safe up until Bowser jumps and shoots his fireball at you at the same time, and you just kind of get sandwiched in. Classic One's trying to opt for the lower route to see if he can get a better power up.
Or get the clip there. Well, let's see if this item blocks has... No, also a leaf. So yeah, fire's just off limits.
It looks like Classic had the chance to close the gap by just a slightly smaller margin, but I think at that point it was still a little further behind, even if he was able to make a few optimizations in 7-8 as well.
Indeed. Human Mustard has finished in first with a SRL time of 39:41.
Ladies and gentlemen, get your GGs out for Human Mustard.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Bowser has no hitbox in his lower two tiles. So you can safely duck underneath him. Only applicable for the SNES, for the NES and the All-Stars versions. They fixed that for the Game Boy Advance release.
One finishing up in second with the official SRL time of 40:32. Get your GGs out for Classic 1 as well.
Whoa, Leslie picked up a hammer suit at some point. We totally missed that.
Oh, right on.
But can Leslie hang on to it? That's the question. Don't get overzealous.
Looks like Leslie Pro's going to maybe go for the clip. Have to wind up from P-Speed and get out there from the donut lift.
Yep.
Tarzan tried to go for it, lost a little bit of P-Speed as he was making that run. So
It was discovered recently by a DLP, but you can actually do the clip in the corridor below the top one. It's just a specific way of doing it.
I would say there's no wrong way of making clipping through that section as long as he's able to do it. And unfortunately, Leslie Pro loses that hammer suit right at the end as he's making his way to Bowser. Otherwise, that would have been a nice opportunity to save a good 40 seconds there.
Regrettably. But no matter. The thing is when you're fighting Bowser this way, you still have to move around a bit so you don't get clipped by that fireball. It can happen, and it will.
Iris has made his way to Bowser as well. So they'll be finishing up at roughly the same time. And down goes Bowser on Leslie Pro's end. GG's out for Leslie Pro. He finishes up with an official SRL time of 42:56. And it looks like we are now joined with Human Mustard in the commentary booth. Human Mustard, GG.
We can't hear you, or at least I can't.
Yeah, it seems like there's a bit of static on our end. Not able to make it anything.
Anyway, that is all 4 races are done. Claris is finished with 44.8.
So yeah, with all 4 of our featured runs finished, yeah, do give them all a follow. They all did a fantastic job.
And it looks like the other racers are piling in. We're joined by Leslie Pro. Hello, GG.
Thanks for the GGs, and GG as well, Classic. Oy, that's the rough.
That was quite How about them Fire Bros?
GG to everyone.
That hitbox was, I swear, well, I'll say this much because baseball's finally back. I think the video game umpire got that one wrong.
Yeah, Dustminion and I were actually taking a look at those Fire Bro fights, and we were remarking about how looks like Mario went over the Fire Bro's head. It didn't even look like the sprites overlap with each other, but somehow the hitboxes kind of disagreed with quite a couple times. It's especially a rough situation to be in, especially when you have those shallow water battles and you're kind of going under-equipped in World 3 with a smaller Mario, so definitely not an enviable situation to be in.
Ooh, that's nasty.
Fire Bro hitboxes are definitely from the future, and they just incorporated it into the game.
I don't even think there's a hitbox on their feet either, because sometimes you could just hit them from the lower blocks, and it takes like multiple attempts before it actually knocks them out.
Or
I think Fire Bros just don't have rules.
Well, just to start off, all I want to say for not doing this in like 4 months, I think I did okay. And even though I didn't win the race, come on, did I win the swag award or what?
You and Mustard were trading leads the whole time.
Why am I not surprised?
Yeah, I at some point I just started doing crazy stuff, which is pretty much what I do. I gamble a lot, I do some crazy things, but I said, you know what? I've messed up a lot, let's just keep going, and I'm pretty sure it was going to be either way.
Yeah, it looks like he tried to go for the 7-7 pipe flip, gave it about 2 or 3 attempts before he decided to just bail out. Yeah,
I've only gotten that once, so I don't even know why I even tried.
yeah, whenever you at least
that's
expect it, that's what...
three lately.
But yeah, I saw you tried to go for door 3 as well. Yeah, we were marking how it, if you're able to nail that, you're able to save 4 seconds on that frame perfect trick. Otherwise, you're losing 11 seconds just trying to navigate through the water to get back to where you were. Meanwhile, if you get the 7-7 clip first try, that saves 17 seconds, but you have to get it within 7 tries before you finally break even and you start losing time. Any other thoughts from either of you, Leslie Pro or Classic One?
Well, I'd say compared to last week, where I managed to dip, dive, duck, and dodge pretty much through half the game without getting hit. This time the game was like, nope. And I swear, some of my early issues were just the old case of yummy inputs. 8-bit games, they happen, but I bounced back rather okay. I'm just glad I didn't have to do 5-3 for the required fort, because that would have been like, come on, game.
Yeah, 5-3 was one of the hand traps.
Yeah, and I had my Cobra's hand lock.
Looks like World 8 overall was pretty rough to all 4 of you racers, but I think you guys managed to do a really solid job just trying to navigate through there, especially with everything that the layout was throwing at you.
Yeah, the layout threw everything but the kitchen sink at us. And I say the only bit of swag is, I had been trying to get I've been waiting for that setup for the World 4 airship for some time, and hopefully somebody watching got a chuckle out of that.
The interesting thing is in Desert, all the races had an opportunity to not do 5-9 because World 1 Fort broke the lock that took you right to the level before the airship.
Yeah, that fort was red, though, and red is my least favorite color, so I said screw that.
Yeah, I saw it was World 1 Fort, and I'm like, pass.
Oh yeah, the wand grab. How do you upside down that?
You have to get
I
that
learned that from crowd control, because if you're in a Starman state, you're jumping, Mario's flipping. I'm not sure if it's position specific with the animation or not, but if done correctly, Mario's sprite is literally flipped upside down. Sideways.
Oh.
So, yeah, I'll let y'all have fun with that at your own leisure. Yeah. Oh, and it was a crowd control stream done by Proton John. I mean, how else am I gonna learn of these glitches? I kid.
Right on. So, any closing thoughts with you two?
Yeah, GG's classic. Let's just say the races are always fun, and who knows what's going to happen as we go forward through the weeks, but the more the merrier is what I say.
Yeah, definitely GT to everyone. I definitely had fun with it, which is, why I did what I wanted to do. And one last thing, Teeks, I want to congratulate you on your 100% PB getting that 110. You worked hard and you deserve it.
Thank you so much, Classic. I greatly
Oh,
appreciate
you got it?
GG.
I finally got the.
Teeks.
Rockin'.
Thanks so much, guys. I greatly appreciate it. That the grind that I put in for the last 2 months finally amounted to something in the long run.
3 cheers for Teeks, everyone.
I heard that. GG.
Thank you all again so much. And yeah, give the 4 of our races a follow: Human Mustard, Leslie Pro 04, Classic 188, and Claris.com. .com rather, sorry. So yeah, thank you again, Speed Gaming, for hosting these SMB3 Randomizer weekly races. Do give our runners a follow, as well as your commentators, Dust Minions, and yours truly, should you feel so inclined. It's always a pleasure to showcase the skill in this community and to continue to watch it grow. So also, don't forget to check out many of the other exciting events that are going to be going on the Speed Gaming schedule, going on throughout the evening. So we have on the main Speed Gaming channel, Metroid Prime 2 Randomizer, Speed Gaming 2, Metroid Prime Rando Weekly, Speed Gaming 3, we have Hollow Knight Rando Lockout Bingo, and Speed Gaming 5, Mario Kart 64. So if that's going to be all, then until next time, have a good night, everybody. Be safe, be well, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Goodbye for now.
Good night, everyone.
Have a good night.